begin with Unit 2 under the title Income from Other Sources. This is the fifth head of income. We are going to see in this video about the income from other sources and its format, and tax treatment, provisions and problems and solutions relating to dividend income, casual income, royalty, pension income, income from letting on hire of plant, machinery or furniture, income from subletting of house property, gifts or money, property received without consideration or for inadequate consideration, and interest on compensation or enhanced compensation. Now let us see what is income from other sources. Income from other sources is the last and residual head of income. Any income not taxable under the head salary, house property, income from business or profession, capital gain is chargeable to tax as income from other sources. Dividend, income from securities, income from undisclosed sources, royalty, etc. are incomes which are taxable under other sources under section 56. This is a format of income from other sources. You have dividend income, interest on securities, casual income, income by leasing out of plant and machinery and furniture, family pension, income by subletting, gifts received without consideration, and other income. If you add together, you get the total income less any deductions, you get the net income from other sources. Now let us see the tax treatment of dividends. Dividends declared or distributed by Indian company or by a mutual fund on its units or units of UTI are fully exempted. So dividend by any Indian company or UTI and mutual funds are totally exempt from tax. Dividend from foreign company and cooperative society are taxable. Collection charges, exempted dividends, and interest on loan borrowed for investment in shares whose dividends are exempted are not deductible. In case if collection charges is given for any dividend of Indian company, then it is totally exempted. You need not deduct it from the dividend. If it is given for a foreign company, you have to deduct the collection charges. Now let us see the format for computation of dividend income. Dividend income, in case of dividend income, you have to take only dividend from foreign companies and dividend from cooperatives. If you add together along with, if you deduct collection charges on these dividends only from foreign companies and cooperatives, you get the total dividend income. Problem number 1. Mr. Murugan furnishes the following particulars of his income for the previous year 2018-2019. Compute the income from other sources for the assessment year 2019-2020. Dividend gross from Ashok Leyland Limited 50,000. We'll simultaneously do the problem computation of income from other sources for the assessment year 2019-20. Dividend gross from Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland is an Indian company. We have seen already that dividends declared or distributed by an Indian company is fully exempted from tax. So here dividend from Ashok Leyland is exempt from tax. Next one is interim dividend from TVS Limited. Interim dividend from TVS Limited. TVS is again an Indian company, so it's also exempt from tax. Dividend from cooperative society rupees 10,000. Dividend from cooperative society 10,000, it is taxable, so 10,000 you have to write. Then dividend from foreign company net is given, so 52,000. We are not given any other information, so you take directly 52,000. It's taxable. 52,000. Then dividend from UTI 6,000. UTI is also exempt from tax. So total income from other sources is 62,000. That is 52,000 plus 10,000. 62,000. Now let us see the tax treatment for casual income. Casual income refers to income which is unexpected and unpredictable in nature. It includes income from lottery winnings, crossword puzzle winnings, from race, gambling, betting and the like. Now let us see the tax treatment and provisions relating to this. Lottery winnings and winnings from crossword puzzle and card games are subject to TDS. TDS is tax deducted at source at 30%. The income exceeds rupees 10,000. I'll tell you what TDS is. Generally, the company or a person who is liable to make payment will deduct the tax amount if the payment is above the prescribed limit and remit the amount to the tax amount to the government. That is called as tax deducted at source. The company will pay only the net amount to the accessee. In that case, tax deducted at source for a lottery winnings and winnings from crossword puzzles and card games is 30% if the income exceeds 10,000. Second one, horse race winnings are subject to TDS at 30% if the income exceeds rupees 5,000. No tax deducted at source on the other casual incomes like other race winnings. Only for horse race winnings TDS is deducted at 30%. For other race winnings no TDS is there. Gambling and betting. No TDS for race winnings, gambling and betting. Next. Casual income is grossed up if net income or income received is given. So sometimes income, rather than giving the total income, only net income or income received is given. That is, what is this net income is? They will deduct the tax of 30% from the total income and the net income will be given. So income received will be the income which is in hand of the assessee. That is, they will deduct the amount of the tax from the original amount and they will give the balance amount to the assessee. That is the net income or income received. In that case, grossing up has to be done. So grossing up is not required if gross amount is given or one amount is given. Grossing up refers to add back the amount of tax which has been paid to the value of other income received. So how we have to calculate the gross amount for casual income? So net amount into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. Here tax rate is 30%, TDS is 30%. So what we are going to do is, then we have only the net amount. From the net amount we are multiplying it with by 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate is 30%, 100 minus 30 is 70. So your formula for gross amount for casual income is net amount into 100 by 70. Income arising from maintenance of horse for race purpose is taxable under income from other sources. Loss arising from the activity of maintenance of race horses can be set off only from income from such source. That is, in case if you get any income from the horse race, that or maintenance of horses, in case if there is any expenses which is incurred on the maintenance of horses, you can deduct that from expenses from the income which has arisen from the horse race. Any unadjusted losses from activity of maintenance can be carried forward. If you have loss more than the income, that loss can be carried forward for the 4 succeeding years to be set off from same activity. For the 4 succeeding years you can take. In case if there is any income for the 4 succeeding years, you can just set off the expenses or loss which has been arised in the previous years. This is only in case of horse race. Any amount incurred to purchase lottery ticket is not deductible from lottery winnings. In case if you get the lottery winnings, and if any you may have purchased the lottery ticket for any amount, it is not deductible from the lottery winnings. So these are few provisions relating to casual income. We'll see problems based on this. Problem number 2. Mr. K received the following incomes during 2018-19. Compute his taxable income under the head income from other sources separately for each case. So for the incomes of Mr. K is given, we'll compute it for separately. They have asked us to prepare it separately for items in A and items in B. So we'll prepare for items in A. Winnings from Sikkim lottery received rupees 1,05,000. So received, the word received is there. So it's a net amount. In that case, we have to gross up this. So winning from Sikkim lottery received is net amount is 1,05,000. If we gross up 1,05,000 into 100 by 70, we get 1,50,000. Next one is winning from horse race amount 1. Directly the amount 1 is given 2,000. So we can write it as it is. Next one, winning from crossword puzzle. Winnings from crossword puzzle is 4,000. So we can directly record rupees 4,000. So total it is 1,56,000. Here in case total amount is 1,56,000. Now coming to items in B. Winnings from lottery amount 1 is given 2,000. So we can write the amount 1 2,000 here. Then next one, winnings from horse race received. Horse race received is given 56,000. So yes, 56,000 is the amount received. What we can do is we have to cross up 56,000 into 100 by 70. It gives you 80,000. Next, winnings from gambling and betting. Winnings from gambling and betting is 25,000. As it is, you can write it. The total income from other sources is 1,07,000. Here you are given expenses on buying lottery tickets. As I told you, relating to the provisions, any amount incurred to purchase lottery ticket is not deductible from lottery winnings. So we are not taking that into consideration. Problem number 3. Compute the taxable income for assessment year 2019-20. Mr. John from the following information given to you. Expenses on race horses at Hyderabad 4 lakh. Expenses on race horses at Bangalore rupees 2,50,000. So stake money earned by horses at Hyderabad 2,40,000 and Bangalore 1,80,000. Then he received rupees 20,000 on betting during horse race at Hyderabad. He won a lottery of rupees 50,000. He earned an income of rupees 40,000 under speculation business. Now in this problem, first we will see about the horses. Horse race, income from maintenance of horses. We will write the stake amount earned. How much is the stake amount earned for at Hyderabad? It is 2,40,000 and in Bangalore it is 1,80,000. So total stake money earned is 4,20,000. From that we have to deduct the expenses on race horses of Hyderabad and Bangalore. So 4 lakh plus 2,50,000, totally it is 6,50,000. From you have the loss from maintenance of horses, it is 6,50,000 is higher than the income, that is stake money earned, 4,20,000. So this loss can be carried forward for next 4 years. 2,30,000 is the loss which can be carried for next 4 years. Then next one relating to horses is over. He won a lottery of rupees 50,000. Winnings from lottery is 50,000. Then he received 2,20,000 on betting during the horse race at Hyderabad. He received the amount. So the receive means you have to do the gross up. So income from betting of horse race, net amount is 2,20,000. You have to gross up. How you will gross up? 2,20,000 into 100 by 70. That gives you 3,14,256. You add up along with the winnings from lottery, you get 3,64,256. Then he earned an income of rupees 40,000 under speculation business. Business income from speculation business is 40,000. So 3,64,256 plus 40,000 is 4,04,286. So if we get the taxable income of 4,04,286. Now let us see the tax treatment of royalty income, pension income and other incomes in income from other sources. In case if actual royalty amount is received, is given, from that if we deduct the actual expenses incurred, that is the amount which we have to take into consideration for royalty income. In case of family pension, the provision is family pension received less standard deduction at 1/3 of pension or 15,000, whichever is less. From family pension, if you deduct the amount of standard deduction, you get the taxable pension amount, family pension amount. Now let us see what are all the other incomes which comes under income from other sources. Income from agricultural land situated outside India, salary received by MP or MLA, gifts received in excess of rupees 50,000 from person other than relatives, director fees, examinership remuneration received by teachers, ground rent received, income received by leasing out or non-agricultural land, deemed incomes, income from undisclosed sources, income on compensation or enhanced compensation, advance money received and forfeited during negotiations to sell the capital assets, any income not taxed under any other heads. All these will come under other incomes. All these you have to add up and show it as other incomes. Problem number 4. Compute the income under the head income from other sources of Mr. Armugam. Interest on investment with the company, gross interest is given 10,000. University remuneration for working as an examiner, rupees 8,000. Royalty for writing books, he claims to have spent rupees 20,000 for writing these books, rupees 80,000. Dividend received from domestic company, rupees 12,000. Interim dividend, rupees 6,000. Directors fees 10,000. Rent from vacant land, rupees 12,000. Income from subletting 6,000 and family pension 48,000. Here let us see the solution. You can write it in the order of incomes. First one is dividend income. If you see here, dividend received from domestic company as well as interim dividend is given. Dividend received from any Indian company is exempt from tax. So here dividend from domestic company is exempt. If just here interim dividend is given, we are not given the details about either it is a Indian company or a foreign company. In that case, you have to assume it as an Indian company. So interim dividend here is also exempt. Now come to the interest on securities. Interest on investment with the company is rupees 10,000. Gross interest is given, so we are writing the interest just as it is, rupees 10,000. Now what are the other incomes? We'll write the other incomes here. Other incomes, you have university remuneration for working as an examiner, rupees 8,000. Then director's fees 10,000. Rent from vacant land, rupees 12,000. And rent income from subletting, rupees 6,000. So all these together we can write it as sundry income. Next one is royalty income. We have royalty for writing books as rupees 80,000. From that he has spent rupees 20,000. 80,000 minus 20,000 is 60,000. That is a royalty income. Next one is pension, family pension we have to calculate. For this the provision is 1/3 of pension amount or 15,000, whichever is less. So family pension is 48,000 as given. From that we have to compute the exempt amount. 1/3 of pension is 1/3 into 48,000, which is 16,000, or 15,000 is the amount. In both the amounts, 15,000 or 16,000, whichever is less. 15,000 is less, so from 48,000 we have to deduct 15,000. We get the amount of 33,000. By summing up all, we get 1,39,000. This is the taxable income from other sources. Now let us see the provisions relating to income from letting on hire of plant and machinery or furniture. In case of income by letting out of furniture, plant or machinery, we have to deduct the expenses which are incidental to this, like depreciation, repairs, insurance, lighting expenses, office expenses, or any other expenses. So deduct that the rest of the amount is taxable. Again, in case of income from letting of plant, machinery or furniture with building, if there is, it's along with the building. Income by subletting of house property. Income from subletting less proportionate expenses in the form of actual repairs, municipal taxes and rent paid to the owner. If you deduct this from the income from subletting, you get the income from other sources which is taxable. Next is the provision relating to gift or money property received without consideration or for inadequate consideration. For gift or money or property received with or without consideration, the amount, threshold amount is 50,000. So sum of money being gift in cash or check or draft, if it exceeds 50,000, entire amount is taxable. In case of immovable property without consideration, if stamp value exceeds 50,000, in that case stamp value is chargeable to tax. Immovable property purchased for the consideration which is less than the stamp duty value, in that case if consideration exceeds rupees 50,000, the difference between stamp duty value and consideration is taxable. Movable property without consideration. If aggregate fair market value of all movable property exceeds 50,000, all movable property, if it exceeds 50,000, in that case aggregate fair market value is chargeable to tax. Fifth one, movable property for consideration which is less than the fair market value. If aggregate fair market value of movable property exceeds rupees 50,000, the excess of fair market value over the consideration is chargeable. In case of interest on compensation or enhanced compensation, from the interest on enhanced compensation, you have to deduct 50% of interest received, which can be claimed as deduction. Rest of the amount is taxable. Problem number 5. From the following details, compute income from other sources for the year 2019-20. Dividend rupees 12,000. Rent from letting out machineries 26,000. Here bank charges, insurance premium, depreciation and repairs is given. Casual income net, interest on bank deposits, royalty income, collection charges in respect of dividend, interest on post office savings bank, income from undisclosed sources, advance money received and forfeited while negotiating to sell capital asset during the previous year. So all these items are given. We'll write each subcategories now. First one is dividend income. Dividend, under dividend income you have dividend here 12,000. I have already told you that in case if just dividend is given, you have to assume it as dividend to be received from an Indian company. So it is exempt. Next, rent from letting out of machineries 26,000. So it comes under the head income from letting off plant and machinery on hire. So it is rent from machineries is 26,000, and the expenses relating to this are bank collection charges 380, insurance premium 1060, depreciation 1400 and repair expenses 250. Sum up these things, you get 3090. From the rent of machineries of 26,000, if you deduct 3090, you get 22,910. Next one is casual income. Here net amount is given. So 24,500 is a net amount, net casual income. If net casual income is given, we have to gross up. So 24,500 into 100 by 70. If you gross up this, you get the amount of 35,000. Next, interest on bank deposits is given. It's an interest income. Interest income, interest in bank deposits 6,000. Write it as it is. One more interest is there, interest on post office savings bank. It is given as 2,500. Interest on post office savings bank is exempt up to
is 3,500.
So this is not taken into consideration. So only the interest in bank deposits, the 6,000 we have to take into consideration. Next, royalty income is given. 18,000 is a royalty income. From that, if you deduct the expenses of 2,000, you get 16,000. Collection charges in respect of dividend, 1% of dividend. Here the collection charges is for this dividend from Indian company. In that case, already dividend is exempt from tax. So here we need not deduct anything. So no collection charges need not be taken. Already we have discussed about interest on post office saving bank. Now income from undisclosed sources. Income from undisclosed sources is other income, and advance money received and forfeited while negotiating to sell capital asset during the previous year is also other income. Add up these two, you get 74,000. So if you sum up the whole amount of income from other sources, you get the total income from other sources as 1,53,910. Next, problem number 6. Compute Shaker's income from other sources from the particulars given below. Dividend, gross dividend is given 5,000. Crossword puzzle prizes 2,500. Receipt from letting on building along with plant and machinery rupees 10,000. Bank charges for collection of dividend rupees 120. Insurance premium rupees 500. Depreciation allowable 1,000. Repairs or to plant and machinery 300. Office expenses relating to building 1,500. Rent from subletting 1/4 of the house of rupees 5,000 per month. He has taken a residential house by paying rent of rupees 12,000 per month. Municipal taxes paid by him is 10,000. Repairs incurred is 16,000. Mr. Shekhar also purchased diamonds for rupees 8 lakhs. Fair market value rupees 8.5 lakh. He further purchased an artwork for rupees 9 lakhs. Fair market value is 9.5 lakhs. He owned a land in Chennai. It was acquired by the government in 2011-12 along with the compensation of rupees 1,40,000 is payable by government for the late payment of compensation. The interest is received during 2018-19. Now we will see the problem, solution for the problem. Gross dividend is to 5,000. Here dividend, if it is given just as dividend, we have to treat it as from Indian company, so it is exempt from tax. Next one is crossword puzzle. It comes under the head of casual income. So crossword puzzle price amount is 2,500, right? 2,500 received from letting of building along with plant and machinery. Letting of building along with plant and machinery is 10,000. Then insurance in respect of plant and machinery is 500. Depreciation rupees 1,000. Repairs on plant and machinery is 300. And office expenses relating to building is 1,500. Add up all these things, you get 3,300. From 10,000, if you deduct the 3,300, you get 6,700. Here one more item is given. Bank charges for collection of dividend rupees 120. Already I have told you dividend is from Indian company, so you cannot deduct. Already you are claiming an exemption, so no deduction is allowed, so it has to be ignored. Next one, rent from subletting 1/4 of the house rupees 5,000 per month. He has taken a residential house by paying a rent of rupees 12,000 per month. So here rent received for subletting is 5,000 per month for 1/4 of the house, which is he has sublet. He has sublet only for 1/4. 1/4 he is getting the amount of 5,000 per month. So per year it is rent received by subletting for 1/4 of the house is 5,000 into 12, that is 60,000. Less the expenses relating to this, we have to deduct proportionate expenses. So here we can see 12,000 is the rent per month. 1/4 of the rent here is 12,000 into 12 months into 1/4, that is 36,000. Then municipal taxes paid by him is 10,000. 10,000 into 1/4, that is 2,500. Taxes paid yearly, so we have to take only 1/4 already. Yearly it is given. Then next one is repairs incurred is rupees 16,000. Repairs is 16,000 into 1/4, so it is 4,000. Add up all these three and deduct it from the rent received from subletting. If you deduct the expenses of 42,500 from 60,000, you get 17,500, which is the income from subletting of house. Now coming to the next adjustment. Mr. Shekhar also purchased diamonds for rupees 8 lakhs, fair market value of rupees 8.5 lakh. He further purchases an artwork for rupees 9 lakh, fair market value is 9.5 lakh. For purchase value exceeding 50 lakh, we have to see aggregate fair market value for both the movable assets, that is diamonds as well as artwork, is 8.5 lakh plus 9 lakh, and value of movable property is 8 lakhs plus 9 lakh. If you deduct, you get 1 lakh rupees, which exceeds 50,000. So the whole amount is taxable, which we have seen in the provision already. Next, he owned a land in Chennai. It was acquired by the government in 2011-12 along with the compensation of 1,40,000. is payable by the government for the late payment of compensation. The interest is received during 2018-19. It comes under interest on payment of compensation. Interest on payment of compensation, here 50% of interest received is deducted as compensation. So here deduction under 54(7), 50% of interest is the amount of deduction. So if you deduct from 1,40,000, 70,000, you get 70,000, which is taxable. So total income from other sources is, you add up all these things, you get 1,96,700, which is the taxable amount. Now we come to the conclusion of this video. In the next video we will see about the income from securities and some other comprehensive problems. For further references, you can refer the books given below.